And finally, kind of an update on the garden itself. Well, back there we got a zucchini and we got a squash, and then we've got zucchini and squash kind of mess here. Pumpkin squash, or actually these are, I think, butternut squash, but it's it's kind of a mess. If you haven't noticed, they have kind of taken over this whole corner of the garden. I'm glad we've given them this much, and they kind of decided to spread. Um, Our tomato plants have ended up starting to grow over top of the cattle panels. I actually got to go through here today maybe and go trim some of the foliage off the bottom of these because they're starting to look a little starting to look terrible actually in all reality. The lower leaves and whatnot have kind of started to change color and are starting to die off, so kind of need to go through and get these off. They need to just be gone. Kind of looks almost like blight to me, but I'm not 100% sure. Can't tell you, but as you can see, they've been fairly prolific this year. And the cucumbers came through. They are going like crazy here. Most of them are all the way up the cattle panels already, and they look really nice. The pepper plants, almost every single one of them came through very well this year. I mean, this is pretty decent sized peppers, and even our potted tomatoes are doing fairly well, and they're putting on fruit, but we haven't gotten anything ripe off of them yet. Our string beans have gone nuts, and they are trying to escape the compound. They're actually starting to try and grab onto our corn, which I may just let them climb it and flower out. As you can see, we have some that are actually starting to flower, so we should have beans here hopefully, I would assume, next 3 weeks, but we'll have to see. There's some more pepper plants that I had ended up receiving from my mother, and ones that I had started, and in all reality they're looking amazing. I'm hoping here soon that we have some tomatoes that change so we can make some salsa. Oh, and here is our little tomato plant that just decided to shoot up this year out of the ground underneath our tarping. So we'll have to see how he works out. Kind of looks like a cherry tomato, but I guess we'll see here in the future. So as you can see, we've got some really, really nice peppers. Here's another really, really good one. So we'll have to see. And the mosquitoes are terrible out here with this humidity. Holy cow. That being said, we also have more pumpkins back here. And they're actually growing really, really well. And our corn, this one is actually starting to tassel almost, but we'll give that a little bit more time to grow out. See if I can get through here. There we go. All right, and all of our bush beans are starting to come in. We're starting to get some good beans on these. I may actually end up having to pick some here today, but a lot of them have been flowering for the last week or so. So we're starting to get some really, really nice beans. And then of course another one of our sugar pumpkins decided it didn't really like where it was, and really kind of wanted to spread out. So all of a sudden now we have him in the fence. So he has grown all the way along this back fence wall here, and he's starting to put on pumpkins, so we'll have to see how he does. And then of course the wife's sunflowers are now probably chest height almost. They're going along pretty well. Should be interesting to see how they look when they flower out. The potatoes have all flowered and are coming just out of flower, so it shouldn't be too long, another month or so, and we should have some decent potatoes. And our carrots here, actually Brooke picked one not that long ago, and they're pretty small still, but they're starting to come along. At least the greens are growing really well. We'll have to see how the roots do. Our first batch of radishes here did not do so hot, so we decided to tear them out, and we actually planted a bunch of dill because we noticed, hey, we have a packet of dill seeds, and never planted any for pickles. So kind of worrisome a little bit. But our other French breakfast radishes here came in really, really nice. Even though that it looks like we have some kind of, I wouldn't say weevil, but some kind of mite or something that's going through and chewing them up pretty good. Here's some of our tomatoes. Look, you can have a really, really nice looking one, looks wonderful, or you can have the really, really ugly one. So we're getting a lot of fruit in. We'll just have to see how and when everything wants to change. But from the Lukow homestead on this muggy and mosquito infested Saturday morning, I hope you guys have a wonderful day.